What have you learnt from your audience feedback? Audience feedback has always been something that is very important for me to take advantage of in order for my products to be as successful as they can be. Anything I create and any shots I take, I would always get audience feedback from my target audience of young girls. This helped me progress massively as I could listen and find out what they want and then recreate it to suit their needs. I created my first draft of my music video, which although was very basic and needed improving, I wanted some feedback at the earliest possible point so I could focus on what my target audience wanted to see and what they liked. I also researched widely into Rihanna's music, and what she creates is obviously very popular due to the amount of fans she has, the million views she receives on sites like YouTube, and how successful she has been throughout the past 8 years of her being in the limelight. She listens to her fans and keeps on producing videos and albums that young girls want to buy and watch. Although you could argue that some of her videos, such as S&M and Cockiness, are deemed as unacceptable and promote a bad message to young girls, this makes her even more spoke about and popular due to the media and press getting involved. Although some of her songs are quite explicit, she also produces ones such as Umbrella and Please Don't Stop the Music, which are purely pop-based with no use of bad language at all. She's quite a versatile artist and produces music suitable for a wide range of ages, whereas I feel that Grace is young herself and her image and style is mostly for young teens. From the first draft I showed to a class of girls aged 13 to 14, which is exactly the type of age I needed to receive feedback from. The feedback I received was very helpful, and I was surprised that from such an early stage I was receiving feedback that was already influencing what I was going to be doing. The clothes Grace was wearing and the locations were praised by the girls, and some of the comments I received were that the clothes are very in and fashionable, I think she looks cool, and I like her big gold chain, I have one exactly like that. These types of comments were really refreshing to hear, as Grace being a role model and inspiration was exactly what I wanted, so the girls liking her style and fashion was a major positive for me. Some negatives were that the lip syncing was out on some parts, there were some missing gaps to be filled, and it was slightly jolty. Surprisingly, I was happy with these things because I knew that I could improve these parts, and they were things that I knew I needed to adjust and fix anyway, so it was nice to know that they were paying attention and noticed these things as well. My sister is 13 years old, so I thought I should use it to my advantage and ask her and her friends to help me out with what images to use for my album, as I was unsure and had quite a few to choose from. I wanted to know what they thought and liked best. I showed them all the images and they told me what ones they liked and why, which was very helpful and gave me some ideas of what ones to use. Every time I made changes to my video, I made sure that I got some feedback from my target audience to ensure that I was going in the right direction and not creating something that would end up being a car crash. The girls that I asked always pointed out things even I wasn't aware of, and this made me look at my video in a different light and make the changes to the things that needed editing. The lip syncing was an issue from the beginning, and I only got it exactly in time quite recently, as I needed to do some shuffling of the clips, lots of slowing down and speeding up to get it to match, as it's a very fast song and was a negative comment that kept cropping up in my feedback, and in the end was something I needed to crack down on and get perfect. And eventually I did that, as the final time I showed my video to a class of girls aged 14 to 15, not one girl said it at all, which was very rewarding. This makes me even more positive for the things that my target audience was saying throughout the process, and I believe everything they have said, and without their input I don't think I would have created what I have done today. What have you learnt from your audience feedback? Audience